This is Karen. Welcome to It's a Crafty Christmas from DoLallyCrafts.com. This is the card we will be making today. Very simple, very clean cut. All of the materials that you'll need, all the sizing and everything, can be found on my blog. We'll be using the Starlight Thinlits. Pretty sure that's what they're called. Yes, Starlight Thinlits. And the Star of Light stamp set. And all we'll be using out of the stamp set is actually the Merry Christmas down the bottom. But this is an absolutely gorgeous set. I will show you some of the other cards I've made with this set at the end of the video. You will also need your Big Shot with your cutting plates. Fast Fuse. I remembered the name today, apart from the fact it's actually written on the container, and some real red Stampin' Up ink. I'm actually using some Express-It foam tape because I want the card to stay as flat as possible and don't want it to bend in the mail. I've got everything set up, so how about we start? Now, to start off with, I've actually, because I'm using such a large sheet of foil, I want to get as much use out of that foil as possible, because you only get 2 sheets in a pack. So the parts that you're not going to see, I'm actually going to cut pieces out of them because the rest of this will be hidden. Now, we also need to make sure that we've got this star pattern centralised on the white cardstock. Now, I'm using, even though I've got the magnetic plate, I'm actually using some of our washi tape to hold the framelit in place, only because sometimes the magnetic plate starts playing up and I don't want my framelit shifting while it's on the paper. It needs to stay as still as possible. Okay, so we'll pop that over the top. I'm just going to go and run this through my Big Shot and I'll be back in a few minutes. Okay, I'm back. As you can see, I've cut out one piece from here and I've just popped this through for a second time to take out a second piece. Waste not, want not. Now, I would have taken more out of this area here, but you will be able to see that through the card. So we'll just pop these pieces out. So I've got 2 of the little stars and 2 of the larger stars. I'll empty that later. Just move all of these out of the way because we don't need them now. Chuck the washi tape out. Unfortunately, you can see the imprint of the washi tape on the foil, but that will be hidden for the most part, so it doesn't really make a difference. I'll get all the pieces out of that later. This is excellent to use to get the pieces out. I don't normally need it to get the, I will need it to get the small pieces out here and to get the star out, just giving it a quick brush in my hand or just loosely like that, and it'll just loosen it in the die so you can pull that out. I don't normally use, I have got the special plate, the precision plate, but I've found I don't really need them to cut through this. I find I get through it without a problem. Okay, I've just got to pop a couple more pieces out of there, and just that little one. This card goes together so quickly, you won't believe it. As I said, I've made heaps and heaps of cards over the last few days with this die set and stamp set. I love it. Okay, come in with the foam tape, and what have I done with my scissors? There they are. Okay, just snip off the foam tape. As I said, I like to use the foam tape here because it gives a firmer base to the card. So we'll just go around the outside, and it's fairly cheap tape. It's not bad. I got it in Spotlight. When I want to do fine protection, I will use my Stampin' Up stuff, But this, because I need such a large area covered, I prefer to use just this foam tape. Okay, so take the backing off. I hope you can't hear, my daughter has her YouTube going in the other room and she's, as normal, got it turned up, so I hope you can't hear it too badly. She's actually home sick today. She's got a head cold which she seems to have caught off hubby, because they're both feeling really lousy and actually sounding really lousy as well. Okay, we'll flip that over, and as you can see, all those bits are hidden. We'll get our card base and just crease that nicely. Okay, oh, there we go. Now, fast fuse. There we go. Just glide it along there nicely. Give it a flick at the end and a flick. You don't have to press hard with it. After seeing everybody using it on their videos, some people were raving about it and some people were saying, no, I'd rather stick without it. I was sort of, will I get it, won't I get it? But I'm actually quite happy that I did get it in the end. It's quite easy to use. Doesn't take that much to get used to. Now, if you can hear the rattling to the side there, it's because I'm looking for my dimensionals. Yay, found them. Okay, now I just need a small piece of dimensional just to go on the back of the little foil star that I cut out with the die cut. There's two different sizes of the smaller star, and there is actually a stamp that you can use with it. So just put a bit of dimensional on the back of that, and just use my craft knife for placement. There we go. Just a little bit in the middle there. Now, I actually used, in the sample card, I used some red gems that I bought ages ago in one of the local crafting shops, but they've all the sticky dots on the back have dried, so I wasn't very happy with that. The card looks fairly plain at the moment, but we will jazz it up just a little bit. Okay, I have a piece of Whisper White here, and I'll just make sure that, yep, 3/4 of an inch wide. Now come in with our Merry Christmas. And fairly centered top and bottom and side to side. There. Beautiful. Absolutely lovely. I've wanted just a normal Merry Christmas in a straight for a while in a nice font, and they've either been really tiny ones or way too big. So this one is an ideal size just to adorn the front of the card. Okay, we've got another piece of foil here. Now I'm only going to use a tiny, actually, I've just noticed that piece is a little bit crooked, so I will just use my craft knife and my steel ruler just to straighten up. Okay, it's just under 3/4 of an inch wide now, so we will make this piece just over 3/4. Actually, no, we'll make this piece 3/4 as well. And pop a bit of fast fuse on the back. There we go. Just trim that edge. I'll wait until I've popped it on the card. Okay, pop the card there and we'll just see where we actually need the dimensionals, so one there, and just one in the middle, because we only need to stick it to this part here. So I'll just peel those backing papers off. And then I'm just centering it between that last punched out dot and the base of the card. So, oops, no, don't stick. So just about there. I hope my head didn't get in the way. Flip it over, line the scissors up against the edge of the card and just snip those pieces off. And just to add a little bit of bling to the card, I'm going to pop a little bit of the Tombow there, and then two pieces there. And I have just a couple of red sequins which I would like to pop on. Right, just leave that to dry for a few moments. I might actually put those last two just on either side of the Merry Christmas. So just a little bit of Tombow either side. There we go. Just wipe the glue off the end of that, so hopefully it won't stick to the craft knife now. There we go. Just leave those to dry for a few minutes, and I'm going to bring in some of the basic pearls, just the really tiny ones. Actually, the basic pearls look yellow, so what I will do is bring in some of our rhinestones, and we'll take just a couple of the really tiny rhinestones. Okay, and that's the end of our card for today. You can let me know in the description bar which one you prefer, whether it's this one or this one. Let me know what you liked about each of them, or what you didn't like about each of them. Okay, I hope you've enjoyed this episode of It's a Crafty Christmas, and you will join me on Friday for another Friday Frenzy. Until then, bye-bye. I said goodbye and then I remembered I was going to show you the other cards that I made. I love this Star of Light stamp set. I embossed the swirls of stars in the back there in Pink Pirouette, not Pink Pirouette, in Blushing Bride, and then these are the small stars that the die cuts will cut out for you if you want. As you can see, I used the small star in the centre again. A little Christmas spirit brightens all the world. Now, with the sentiment, I stamped that in Flirty Flamingo because I wanted it to stand out a bit more, but there's better photos on my blog. There's one without the swirls in the background, and instead using the Blushing Bride glimmer paper on the back there. These die cuts are gorgeous. Here we go, a Star of Wonder in silver. Once again, this die cut is gorgeous, and I just highlighted it with some of our basic rhinestones. There's another one of very similar to the one that I made today, but instead using the glimmer paper behind, and instead of giving it a shadow, I actually adhered the punched out layer directly to the glimmer paper, and then popped the glimmer paper on dimensionals. This is a side fold card, and where the swirl is, I've actually included some of the smallest of our basic pearls, and then a large basic pearl in the middle, and then I used one of the other stars, one of the largest stars from the stamp set, just to decorate the either corner there. And when you open it up, we've got the rest of the saying from the front there, and then once again just edging the star pattern in the back. I used the same star pattern here, and then put one of these little stars out of the silver glimmer paper. I actually punched it out or die cut it out of that piece so that I wasn't wasting any. Sorry about that, my alarm went off. See, I'm even including the bloopers in this one. There we go, just a very simple one layer card. And another one. I just sat and played all day when I received this stamp and die set, and I'm blown away by how gorgeous the cards are, from the very simple to, I will admit, if I can find it, these ones were a little bit more involved than the ones that I showed you today. These ones are even more involved than this. I have layered the glimmer paper stars, and then I had to cut out our long strips of dimensionals. I actually cut into maybe 2mm strips and affixed those behind the star here, and then popped, even this one is up on dimensionals. This one is a really high dimension card and very fiddly to make. If you want me to do one, if you want me to make one of these cards for the It's a Crafty Christmas, let me know in the descriptions. But I tell you, the making this one, especially with the embossing in the back as well, this one took me about 30 minutes when I had to put all of the dimensionals on the back, and unfortunately some of the glimmer paper came off on the dimensionals, so I had to bring the Tombow in and stick some Tombow to the back. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed today's card, and I hope you really like these ones. As I said, I can't recommend this stamp set highly enough. If you'd like to purchase it and you haven't already got a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, please feel free to go and purchase it on my store. My Stampin' Up! Store is open 24/7, 364. So if you'd like to go and purchase your own Star of Light and Starlight thinlits, please feel free to. Okay, now I really will say goodbye until Friday. Bye-bye.